So, Ezekiel chapter 1. We're going to read aloud. You can read along if you like. I'm reading from the ESV. In the 13th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day of the month, as I was among the exiles by the Chebar Canal, the heavens were opened and I saw visions of God. On the 5th day of the month, it was the 5th year of the exile of King Jehoiakim, the word of the Lord came to Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the Chebar Canal, and the hand of the Lord was upon him there. As I looked, behold, a stormy wind came out of the north, and a great cloud, with brightness all around it, and fire flashing forth continually, and in the midst of the fire, as it were, gleaming metal. And from the midst of it came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had a human likeness, but each had 4 faces, and each of them had 4 wings. Their legs were straight, and the soles of their feet were like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like burnished bronze. Under their wings on their 4 sides they had human hands. And the 4 had their faces and their wings thus. Their wings touched one another. Each one of them went straight forward, without turning as they went. As for the likeness of their faces, each had a human face. The 4 had the face of a lion on the right side, the 4 had the face of an ox on the left side, and the 4 had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces, and their wings were spread out above. Each creature had 2 wings, each of which touched the wing of another, while 2 covered their bodies. And each went straight forward. Wherever the Spirit would go, they went, without turning as they went. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of torches moving to and fro among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning, and the living creatures darted to and fro like the appearance of a flash of lightning. Now as I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel on the earth beside the living creatures, one for each of the 4 of them. As for the appearance of the wheels and their construction, their appearance was like the gleaming of beryl, and the 4 had the same likeness, their appearance and construction being as it were a wheel within a wheel. When they went in any of their 4 directions, without turning as they went. And their rims were tall and awesome, and the rims of all 4 were full of eyes all around. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. And when the living creatures rose from the earth, the wheels rose. Wherever the Spirit wanted to go, they went, and the wheels rose along with them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. When those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood. And when those rose from the earth, the wheels rose along with them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Over the heads of the living creatures there was the likeness of an expanse, shining like awe-inspiring crystal, spread out above their heads. And under the expanse their wings were stretched out straight, one toward another. And each creature had 2 wings covering its body. And when they went, I heard the sound of their wings like the sound of many waters, like the sound of the Almighty, a sound of tumult like the sound of an army. When they stood still, they let down their wings. There came a voice from above the expanse over their heads. When they stood still, they let down their wings. And above the expanse over their heads there was the likeness of a throne, in appearance like sapphire. And seated above the likeness of a throne was a likeness with a human appearance. And upward from what had the appearance of his waist, I saw, as it were, gleaming metal, like the appearance of fire, enclosed all around. And downward from what had the appearance of his waist, I saw, as it were, the appearance of fire, and there was brightness around him. Like the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud on the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness all around. Such was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell on my face, and I heard the voice of one speaking. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So, that was Ezekiel chapter 1. And now I will read from my devotional on chapter 1, which is very short. This is taken from verse 28. As the appearance of the bow, which occurs in the clouds on a rainy day, such was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell on my face, and I heard the voice of one speaking. This is my devotional. Ezekiel follows Lamentations, and this is no accident. Lamentations ends with a desperate prayer for restoration. Ezekiel begins with God's glory arriving in response. When we cry out from the depths of destruction to be made new, God answers our prayers with His glory, with His presence, with Himself. He brings heaven down to earth. O my soul, have you any loss, any dismay, any sorrow? Long for His glory, His arrival, for there is your salvation. Yet, God's arrival is always both relieving and terrifying. Indeed, He brings the rainbow, but only through the rain. His bow is both a sign of peace and war, the promise of renewal and the archer's weapon. For He always comes to judge, to purge, to discipline, even to kill, but only that He might restore, liberate, glorify, and make alive again. So Ezekiel falls on his face, for that is his worship, his self-humiliation, even his death. And in that lowly place, God speaks to him. O my soul, behold Him and worship. Tremble, but do not be afraid. There is no better place to fall apart than in His presence. For He has made you, and He will remake you. That is my devotional from chapter 1 of Ezekiel in my devotional book. I will be going through this every day for the next 48 days. 47 days is 48 chapters. That's going to take us through Lent and Easter. I hope you enjoyed that. If that blessed you, I would encourage you to join us tomorrow. I'll be jumping on live. Hopefully you can take that with you for the day and meditate on it and listen to it again. Again, I'm keeping this short, but I did want to show you guys. So if you go to my website, you can also scroll down here and click on this. And when you click on this, it'll take you here, and you can order it. You can buy a digital copy of the whole thing, and you can also pre-order the physical copy, so that when it comes out, you will receive it in the mail. So hopefully that blessed you guys. Thank you again, and have a blessed day 3 of Lent.
To support this podcast, go to deebthoughts.com. That's Deeb with a B, deebthoughts.com.